Right now, there are cars sitting on car dealer lots in America that are, and I'm going to be blunt here, Pops, complete ripoffs. Some are overpriced because the dealer is gouging you. Some are overpriced because the manufacturer got greedy. And some, well, they look like a deal on paper, but then they drain your wallet in depreciation within 5 years. Today, we're going to call them out and we're going to use their names.
Really? Nobody in the industry wants to talk about this, but we do, damn it.
All right, Pops, we pulled the latest data from our database back at CarEdge.com, Consumer Reports. I see cars as well. We're going to break this into 3 categories. Category 1 are going to be the cars where dealers are robbing you blind with markups. Yes, markups still exist. Category 2 are going to be cars that are a bad deal if you buy them at sticker price. And category 3 are going to be depreciation traps. These are the cars that look good today, but you're going to be fighting with yourself in the future. You're not going to be happy.
When you see how little they're worth in the future, you're going to question your sanity for having purchased it.
All right, let's start here, Dad, with the dealer markup victims. This is a good reminder that you can see which dealers mark up cars on our dealer ratings website. But let's start here, Dad. These are the vehicles where the manufacturer set a reasonable or at least defensible price point, but then the dealers, because of supply and demand, slapped thousands of dollars on top because they can. First on this list, the Honda Prelude. Dad, the Honda Prelude, it is egregious. The 2026 Prelude have seen original MSRPs of around $43,195. But we've seen some dealers, Dad, add $10,000 and $15,000 markups on top of these. It's absolutely insane that a Honda would be $63,000. You could buy a BMW M2 for that money or a Porsche Cayman. You could almost even get a Corvette, Dad, with how much some of these dealers have marked up the Prelude.
Yeah, and the funniest thing about the Prelude is it's not selling at any price point. What Honda thought would be a home run, and it's a suicide squeeze, and it didn't go well.
We've even seen some dealers, Dad, they add these big markups and then these big discounts, all sorts of games going on when it comes to the Prelude. Here's the good news, though. There are dealers selling them at or even below MSRP, so obviously do your research and never pay above MSRP on a Honda Prelude. Now, Dad, the Toyota RAV4, we still see some dealers, especially for the prime variants, trying to ask above MSRP for these vehicles, a couple $1,000s to more than a couple $1,000s. You should not be spending over MSRP on a Toyota RAV4. Doesn't matter what variant it is, whether it's the internal combustion engine, hybrid, or prime. The days supply of inventory for the RAV4 is not great, but it's also not that bad. Dealers should not be trying to get away with $5,000 and $10,000 markups over MSRP on the Toyota RAV4.
Well, the good dealers shouldn't. There are bad dealers out there that will always try and take advantage of whatever the situation is. And you have to do your best to stay away from those dealers.
Dad, talking about dealers trying to take advantage of customers, the Ford Maverick is another vehicle that we've seen Ford sell a ton of vehicles, but dealers have been trying to get greedy. Dealers have been marking up over MSRP, sometimes as much as 5, 6, even 7%. That's $1,800, $2,000 on a truck that's supposed to be the affordable option. Consumer Reports in the research they did flag this one as one of the key candidates for dealer markups. The Maverick is popular, but there is enough supply out there now. Do not pay over MSRP. Another one Consumer Reports flagged at the Kia K4. This is the entry-level sedan from Kia, and we've got some dealers adding $1,700 above MSRP on a budget vehicle. Please, folks, do not accept additional dealer markups on any of these vehicles, especially a doggone Kia K4.
Yeah, you need to be smart about this. It's a Kia, damn it, a Kia. Okay, don't be overpaying for a Kia.
What is interesting here, Dad, is another vehicle that we found that has additional dealer markups, at least some, is the Chevrolet Silverado, but the work truck trim, which is the entry-level trim from Chevrolet. What's so interesting about this is similarly to the Kia. It is a very cost-effective option. So it's so interesting in today's car market. Dealers are getting greedy on the most the least expensive options out there. That's where they have the most demand because customers just want something affordable. It's really kind of cynical, right? Like the most affordable options end up with these dealer markups. So anyway, like always, get quotes from multiple dealers, use them as leverage against one another. Do not pay above MSRP for a Chevy Silverado, any trim.
Yeah, this is an example of where the margin built into the vehicle is so thin that the dealer just can't, I can't just sell it for that. We need to make some real money on this.
Now, Dad, what dealers charge is one thing, what the car is actually worth is another. Let's get into our bad value even at MSRP category. And to be clear here, folks, the problem here isn't the dealer as much as it is the car itself. The manufacturer just priced these vehicles way too high for what you can get. And you're not going to be surprised with the first vehicle that makes it onto this list, Dad. It's the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Let's talk about this for a second. Stellantis, Dad, with the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, has a vehicle that ranges anywhere from $90,000 to $110,000. Just sit with that for a second. There's a 428 days supply of inventory of the Jeep Grand Wagoneer right now. And last time I checked, Jeep has actually decreased the MSRP year over year for this vehicle. So lingering Jeep Grand Wagoneers out there, if you bought one at MSRP, that's a huge mistake.
Yeah, somehow, the thought of spending $100,000 at a Jeep dealership, I'm thinking I'm driving out with 3 Jeeps, not just one.
And Dad, you were a dealer for a long time. If a vehicle had a 60-day supply, you were probably pretty happy. If a vehicle had a 90-day supply, you're kind of sweating. 428 days, nobody's buying this thing. You could be getting $10, $15, $20, $25,000 off of MSRP on one of these vehicles. So do not, just because the dealer says, well, the MSRP is this, do not pay anywhere near MSRP on this vehicle.
The sad reality, even if you could get that type of discount, it's still not worth buying. It's still overpriced.
Dad, the Dodge Hornet is next on our list at overpriced at MSRP. Now, Dodge has ended production here in early 2026 of the Hornet. But that being said, Pops, you still have many dealers sitting on leftover 2024 and 2025 inventory. Do not buy one of these at MSRP, folks. This is just like a public service announcement. These things depreciate like crazy, and they're not worth what they're asking for with MSRP. You should be getting a couple $1,000s at least off of MSRP, if not $10,000.
Yeah, there's very little market for the Hornet. It's not often that a manufacturer brings out a vehicle and 3 years later kills it, but this is one of those examples that it was just a mistake from day one.
Maserati Gray Calais coming in next on our list. I'm just not even going to spend that much time here. Pops, this thing depreciates like crazy. It does not sell at MSRP. If you go to your local Maserati dealer, you're doing them a favor when you buy one of these. So please do not pay MSRP. And then Dad, Volvo's been struggling here domestically in the United States. And the EX90, yeah, that one is one. If you paid MSRP, you're making a tremendous mistake. It's an $80,000 plus vehicle. At least that's what they're trying to claim. Do not spend that much on it. All sorts of issues with the software and different things with the vehicle. These things do not sell at MSRP. Do not get fooled. Do not pay MSRP. I've got another one for you, Dad. We talked about a moment ago, the Honda Prelude. Even at MSRP, we just covered it for markups, but you know what, Dad? It makes it onto this list too. Don't even pay MSRP for this thing. Just don't.
It is the Honda Prelude is the Dodge Hornet for Honda. Okay, it is a vehicle nobody asked for, and as the public has shown, it's a vehicle nobody wants.
Another one, Dad, the Volkswagen ID Buzz. Remember when this thing first came out, the dealers were charging markups over MSRP on this. This is a $60,000+ Volkswagen. Dad, this thing, no, do not pay at MSRP. Do not even pay close to MSRP. Dealers are throwing huge rebates at this. The manufacturers are throwing rebates at this. Like, if you pay MSRP for a Volkswagen ID Buzz, you're making a mistake.
A huge mistake. And you need to spend more time watching our videos so that you don't make a mistake like that.
And doing some doggone market research, market day supply. If it's high and it's been sitting around for a long time, do not pay MSRP. Now, the third category we have for overpriced vehicles in the United States of America right now, depreciation traps. Let's jump into this. The sneakiest category, I would say. These cars seem like they might be fine when you buy them and the price feels okay. The monthly payment works out for you. But in 3 to 5 years, you are going to, lose a staggering amount of money. Now, Dad, on this list, we have the Tesla Model S and the Model X. Now, Tesla has deprecated these vehicles. They're no longer in production. And the data we have shows that they lose 63% of their value in 5 years. So it might make sense today because you're saving money on repairs and maintenance and fuel costs. But when you go to sell that thing in 3 to 5 years, you're going to be really, really hurting.
Yeah, I don't know that you can save enough in repairs, maintenance, and fuel costs to make up for that huge bite of depreciation. That's just a staggering amount.
The Nissan Altima is next on the list. It loses more than 50% of its value within 5 years. Nissan's been struggling to keep up the residual values of their vehicles in general. And this is a good moment to remind y'all that you can see the depreciation curve of any vehicle back at caredge.com/depreciation. But yeah, Dad, the Nissan Altima here, this is one of those other depreciation traps.
Right, and that's what happens when the vast majority of vehicles that you produce end up in rental car fleets and other fleets. It really downgrades the value of the product.
The Cadillac CT4, this one is also ending production this year. And this is a sedan and a luxury sedan. These things depreciate rapidly. Look at the Acura Integra instead. Better reliability, stronger resale value, and actually a little bit cheaper as an original MSRP. Now, Dad, the Dodge Charger, the new generation ones, those that do not have those V8 engines, well, those things do not sell and they depreciate like crazy. The current Dodge Charger has a 452 days supply nationally. That's the worst of any vehicle in America. And when a car sits for that long, dealers have to discount aggressively, which obviously tanks the resale value for everyone that bought them. So this, even if you are a muscle car aficionado, is going to be one of those vehicles to stay away from. Maybe look at the Mustang instead.
Yes, and this is a perfect example as to why Dodge is bringing the Hemi back so that they can, I don't know, get people interested in those Chargers again.
And last but not least, Land Rover. Just all of them. All right. Land Rovers lose more than 60% of their value in 5 years. These things are so expensive and they sell like hotcakes most of the time, but they still depreciate like crazy. So the Land Rover, all of these are going to be one of those depreciation trap vehicles that you should be watching out for.
Yes, I understand the appeal of Land Rover. I mean, they are really good-looking vehicles, but I also understand that they are some of the biggest money-losing vehicles you can ever consider, and, well, people rush to buy them. I just don't get it.
So what are the takeaways here, Pops? There are three things. One, never pay a markup without checking the data first. This is most important. Just because the dealer's asking for something doesn't mean you need to pay for it. Before you walk into any dealership, look up the dealer invoice price, look at the market days supply, and see what this vehicle's actually selling for nationwide. We have all that back on CarEdge.com. Number two, a car's MSRP is not what the vehicle's actually worth. This is a common misconception. Just because the manufacturer says it's worth something doesn't mean that's a fair price. Cars with bloated inventory, poor reliability, or lots of competition are worth less than their sticker price, and sometimes a lot less. So you can use that as leverage. And third, Dad, you actually have to think about what the car is going to cost you in 5 years, not just today. Depreciation is invisible until it isn't. All right. So check your car's depreciation curve back on CarEdge.com. And we actually, for used cars, just launched a new feature that shows you the depreciation curve of any used car you're thinking about buying. So if you're thinking about buying a used car, go see how much it's depreciated. If it's more or less than average vehicles, you can get that back on CarEdge.com as well.
And if all that sounds like a lot of work, well, that's because it is. And that's what we're here for. We have a concierge team that'll handle all of this for you.
If there's a car you think we missed, drop it in the comments. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you think are the most overpriced cars in America right now. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We put videos out like this all the time. And go check your car's value back on CarEdge.com as well, so you know where you stand.